There are crimes of passion and crimes of logic. The boundary between them is not clearly defined. Albert Camus. Welcome to Grimly.
Okay, fine.
Listen, at the end of January compared to the beginning of January.
I know it's better, but it doesn't mean...
We get 60 more minutes of sunlight.
No, I get it that it's better, but it's still been dark a while.
You fucking lizard ass bitch.
I'm tired.
She always needs to be in the light, but not too much light.
No, not too much.
Not
light.
overhead light.
Daylight, yes. And then I just sleep. It's dark.
Just lizard baby.
I would take a nap in the sun too. Yeah, I would.
On a rock.
Sure.
Just sunning yourself. Sprawled out.
We went to the lake and we sat on... Remember we went up to Lake Wenatchee and we sat on rocks? It wasn't a very sunny day.
It was very windy. That was
A weird day.
a weird day. It was not a good paddleboarding day that we were anticipating and hoping for. Mm-hmm. I just remember.
That lake might not be a good paddleboard lake.
I don't think it is. And I think the people that told us it was were lying.
It's definitely something I won't do again.
Yeah. Not that
In fact, I tried to camp up there last time and I love camping there. Mm-hmm. That was too early in the season, but there's so many bugs and like mosquitoes out there now. Mm. Really bad. I was like,
because you're next to a body of water.
We left.
I'm out of here. Get me out of here.
We set the tent up and then took it down and left the same night.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow. That's impressive.
It also started sprinkling. I was like, let's not.
You just didn't go in the tent and just call it a night and go to sleep?
It wasn't even dark.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. That makes
June.
sense. Yeah,
also a little cold.
A little cold, a little windy, a little buggy, a little sprinkly. Okay.
Just call it a night.
Fair enough. Also, hi, welcome to Grimly.
Welcome to Grimly.
Where we have mixed feelings about camping.
I know, but it's true. I know you don't really like camping. I think it is fun. Mm-hmm. It is fun. It's fun with friends. It's fun. The campfire's fun. It's a nice change of pace for a night or two.
I am missing that like backpacking. That's the difference.
This is maybe the snootiest outdoorsy thing you've ever said.
Probably.
She put a hand on the chest.
I like...
Oh. Ate the microphone.
You really emphasized that. I like backpacking and I'm better than you. Because I work for my campsite.
Okay. Listen. You work for... Well, you know what is, though? The difference is it's reversed. Because I don't think
who you are first.
Oh, I'm Meg. Duh.
Hello. Just put that 93. You should know that by now.
Serious. God.
I'm sorry. I'm just making sure we introduce ourselves. I'm just trying to keep us on track.
Anyway, we should... Welcome to Grimly. You said that.
I did.
Say the other thing.
I say
we are two unserious people.
But talk about seriously creepy shit. Good job. And yes, what were you going to say about car camping?
Nothing. I was like, I'm ready to move on.
Nope.
It's reversed is what I was going to say. Is that like when you are backpacking, mm-hmm. you are hiking, mm-hmm. and then you get there and you set up their tent. Mm-hmm. And listen, I haven't done it with you, but I think it maybe is a lighter setup than a camp.
Way lighter.
So you're packing lighter. Because it's a quicker setup.
Carrying everything on your back.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that, and then you just sort of heat up some water and make a boiled dinner or like a crack open.
A freeze-dried meal.
Yes. Or a crack open.
Which are delicious.
Totally. I agree. Listen, I support. But I think the work is different.
The work is different because it's like you spend the whole day. I like the steps in backpacking. You wake up early, you get to a trailhead, you hike to a very scenic location usually because we live in Washington State and it's like a lake or like a big meadow. It's something very cool. It's something you would like to camp to and like you just have to like do the work to get there as opposed to car camping for me. I think I've talked about this on the pod. Car camping for me is like hotels without walls.
Yeah.
Because everyone shows up. There's like always one campsite that's playing fucking techno music until 2 a.m.
That's true.
There's people partying. And that's fine. Like, that's car camping. Or at a campsite, like a designated campsite where you pay for a camp spot. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that some people really like the like campfire. Because are you doing campfires in the backcountry?
There are some locations you can.
But are you doing that?
Generally
Yeah,
you
'cause
have to bring your own.
That's what I'm saying.
You have to
And so
carry wood.
I think that's a different audience. Like
Different vibe.
It's the people that want to sit around the campfire, build the fire, hang out around the fire. They want to play the games. I know you probably do the maybe cards or something. Do you play cards out there?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're
I
doing
bring a
those
deck of
like
cards, yeah.
just I don't know. Maybe it's the nostalgia of the campfire that people really like. I know that that's what Dig gets real excited about.
Yeah.
And then
I mean,
the
a
cooking
camp-
over the campfire.
Like a campfire is fun. I'm not saying that.
But I agree.
Yeah.
They're just they're two different flavors.
Very different flavors of the same.
I think they're both just okay.
And Meg would rather stay in a cabin.
I would.
And that's, you know what? I think if I did choose,
Safer.
if I did choose between going to like a designated campsite where your neighbors are right next to you or a cabin, I'd say the cabin as well.
Yeah.
Because
I would watch a movie. I would have a little meal. A campfire, maybe. Maybe a hot tub. Cozy.
you do love a hot tub.
I would like a view, though,
Yeah, a view is cool.
if possible.
Yeah. Which usually a cabin has.
Depends. You know, the ones that are just in the woods or near the the resorts and stuff.
Yeah.
Just snowy.
I mean, you could say the trees are the view.
Sure.
Now, who is the hand on chest snooty one? We're both snooty in our own ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you're not. I was just saying that was a outdoorsy snooty.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're wrong.
You're not. Yeah.
I
I know.
a little bit snooty in that sense.
That's
for
all right.
sure.
You're welcome to be. You've
Thank
earned
you.
it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And we're talking about this because we're
We're talking about camping
The
trip.
story is the great outdoors. Sometimes not so great,
I mean, we've talked about a couple scenarios in
which is why I think it's crazy that you go backpacking alone.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels very different. Like it is still scary, but I don't know. I
Brave,
feel like
dude. I'm just saying, couldn't be me, but
Okay.
I admire it.
all right.
I do.
Thank you. I appreciate that. At least someone admires me. But yeah, let's get
You
back
got one.
into this case.
Okay.
Sorry, what was
Nothing. No, I'm just sad about it.
that? Oh, should we recap? Not recap.
Sure. Yeah, I think we should recap.
The story is the DeOrr Kunz disappearance. And it starts with little DeOrr, who's a 2-year-old little boy, very cute,
The
blonde,
cutest.
blue-eyed, chubby-cheeked, very cute little boy.
It's so cute, like that. Every time I see a photo, I'm just like, oh, God, he really is fucking adorable.
I know. And
It's
then
so sad.
he goes on a camping trip with his parents, Jessica and Vernal. Vernal is also often referred to as DeOrr because that is his middle name, and that's where the DeOrr Jr. comes from. But his first name is Vernal, and that's how I'm going to refer to him as Vernal. And then also on the camping trip is Jessica's grandfather, Bob, and then Bob's friend, Isaac, who is significantly younger than Bob. I think Isaac at the time was 35 and Bob is late 70s.
And with an oxygen
tank. Yeah, not in the best of health. And Jessica is his caregiver. So they go on this camping trip, and there is a weird timeline that has a lot of discrepancies, I will say, and DeOrr goes missing. Huge, massive search effort that we talked about in the last episode.
Yes.
Very big search effort, and there is not a single trace of this little boy that is found in the couple days after he went missing for the search effort. And that's kind of where we left. We talked about at the end, we talked about the interview with the parents.
Yes.
And the weird things within the interview, specifically the guy with the truck. That
Yes,
the
there was
parents
a witness that had seen a little blonde boy kind of fussing and fighting
Crying.
with an adult. He said he looked disheveled and dirty, and that the adult was trying to give him candy, and that they got into a black truck.
and left. And then the parents basically dismissed that, saying
They
that because Vernal drives a black truck.
Yes, and also that they said that the sighting had happened the day before when they would have all been looking for him or with
It wasn't
him.
the day before, it was the same day, but just at a different time.
Oh,
They
a
said it
different
was,
time.
Yeah.
Oh, later in the afternoon.
Yeah. And they were like, we were already searching for him. It's like, yeah, that means that there was somebody else with DeOrr then. Possibly.
Yes. Jesus.
So yeah, this case is very complicated. That's a small recap of an hour-long episode from last week. You should, if you haven't listened, you should go listen, because the rest of this is always, it's going to be connected to the first episode. Just putting it out there. Like, why would you start with a part 2?
No.
Who does that?
You know what? If you do, you have an agent of chaos, and I say do as
Respect.
you will.
Salute. Salute to
you.
you. Yeah. But you should go listen to it anyways. Okay.
And thanks for listening.
Anyways, thanks for listening. All right. Okay. So we're going to get to July 14th and 15th. This is a couple of days after DeOrr.
Because you were missing on the 10th, right?
DeOrr goes missing on July 10th. Yeah. So on July 14th and 15th, the Stone Reservoir was searched more extensively by divers. And we talked about the reservoir in the first episode, like how it's kind of shallow and very, very clear, because this is all like mountain fed. And so you can almost see entirely through the reservoir, so almost see at the bottom. But the divers go in and they just search more extensively, because there had been some scent tracking dogs that led searchers towards the reservoir itself. And the reservoir is about a quarter mile from the campsite. And then Jessica and Vernal are also still at the campground on the 14th and the 15th, because they just don't want to leave without DeOrr.
Yeah.
And so there's something also about the dogs. Evidently, I don't know when it happened. I think it happened before DeOrr went missing, but there was someone who spread some ashes at the reservoir. Because that was like this person's last wishes.
Okay.
And this person, once hearing about like the dogs, the cadaver dogs, the scent tracking dogs, hearing specifically, I think the cadaver dogs, they tell rangers in the area, they're like, hey, actually,
If they get a scent of something.
If you get a scent of something, you should know that we spread some ashes there recently. Okay. And so I think the scent tracking and the cadaver dogs kind of got thrown off by that. And I think that's why they kind of also indicated at the reservoir itself.
Interesting. The dogs be able to smell human ashes?
Evidently so.
Jesus. I know they're impressive, but that's wild.
It is pretty crazy. Yeah. So there is a couple other incidents of the cadaver dogs kind of indicating at different areas within the search area. There was one area where they found a dog that was buried, someone had buried their dog, unfortunately. And there's another area that they indicated where there was a bone that was found, but it turns out to be an animal bone from what I found out. But the last area they indicated, it was like this weird patch of gravel above the reservoir. And it didn't seem like it was very like a deep hole that was dug out in this patch of gravel. It was like this weird, perfect patch of gravel in the dirt that was found. And the dogs indicated at this patch of gravel, but there's nothing there. And I do think this makes more sense later. And the dog's name was Chance, and his handler named Tracy. She was like, I'm wondering if this was like a staging area to hide a body for later to be like disposed of a little bit further out somewhere, because it was like this weird like square of gravel that this dog indicated at, but there's nothing there. And I think that will make more sense later. Just pin that in your little mind on your pin board.
When you say gravel in the dirt, then it sort of is hard to understand.
That's how it was described.
It's a rocky. Okay, I was like, I guess if you haven't seen it, it's hard
I haven't seen it. There hasn't been a picture of this. Okay. It's just that is what it has been described as.
Okay.
It was gravel. Might not be the right word. It just was. It was disturbed and like different enough for someone to notice, I guess. Gravel, maybe just like natural gravel. There's usually like a gravel layer in soil. If you like think of a soil like as a layer cake, there's usually like a gravel layer somewhere in there.
Okay.
So not like a gravel like you use to gravel your driveway.
That's what I was like. It couldn't have been that.
But like maybe there was like a layer of like soil being dug up in like a square or rectangle shape that was indicated by the dog. Okay. But there's nothing there. But like I said, I think it will come in play later.
Okay.
So that's kind of where we're starting with. And just like I said, a quick note about this reservoir. The reservoir itself is pretty shallow and the water is very clear. So after an extensive search on the 14th and the 15th with search and rescue, along with the Lemhi County Sheriff, they just don't think DeOrr's in the water. They don't think he's in the creek. They don't think he's in the reservoir.
Okay.
It's
yeah,
extensive.
It sounds like they would have seen him they would have found him if he was in the reservoir. And
the creek isn't very big.
Yeah.
It's like maybe 10 feet wide in some spots and
it
maybe
didn't look-
2 feet deep.
Yeah.
And DeOrr is too.
It just seemed like they would have found him.
And from what I've read about like the initial search, especially of the creek, they were hands and feet crawling through that creek, looking inch by inch. They were searching.
Oh, wow.
You know, people were really committed to finding DeOrr. On July 16th, a representative from the Organization for Missing and Exploited Children arrives on site in Lador to help with the search efforts, and they also get a DNA sample from Jessica and Vernal in case DeOrr is found somewhere else, and they need to confirm that DeOrr is DeOrr, which has happened before. So almost right away on social media, people begin accusing Jessica and Vernal of doing something to DeOrr.
Wow. Okay.
Instantly.
Damn.
This is like kind of, I can't remember, what year is Casey Anthony? 2008?
I know, I don't remember. I want to say it was earlier than that, though, but you could be right. It might have been after we were already out of high school at the time. Probably,
I think we were at high school.
Sure.
With Casey Anthony.
Okay.
Yeah.
2008 to 2010.
Yeah. And so I think people kind of...
We could have been... Now I have to look it up.
Look it up. You've got your phone. You've got the technology.
2008.
I was right.
Nice.
I'm a genius. So I think maybe... And because true crime has kind of become bigger in that era, since like Casey Anthony, we got like Nancy Grace, we got all these people, like got Dr. Phil, whoever, like people like kind of covering these big true crime cases, and usually there's suspicion on the parents.
Yeah.
Some suspicion is definitely instantly kind of tacked on Jessica and Vernal. I think also because of how extensive the search effort was right away, and the fact that they just didn't find anything is very weird. And that interview too, I think also didn't help. Yeah. Yeah. So the Lemhi Sheriff's Department tries to squash this by saying the parents are being fully cooperative with the case, and they believe that the story that was given to them is true. So they're thinking that Jessica and Vernal, they said that they left DeOrr.
It was an accident. It was two ships. Yeah. Everyone was crossing different directions and wasn't actively paying attention.
Not on the same map. I don't know.
They weren't all aligned on what the kid was doing. Who was looking after the kid?
Yeah, exactly. So Lynn Bowerman, the sheriff at this time, also states that they do not think foul play is involved initially with this case, and that both Jessica and Vernal did take polygraph tests.
Okay.
But at this time, they do not publicly say whether or not they passed those polygraphs. Okay. And the polygraphs come into play later.
Okay.
So a month after the disappearance, a PI named Frank Vilt comes into the picture. And he offers to help the family find DeOrr. And so Frank had previously worked for the U.S. Marshals for 19 years and has 10 years of working for the Elliott County Sheriff as well. So he's a marshal and then also works for a sheriff. So like almost 30 years of experience. And then he becomes a private eye. Mm-hmm. He retires, becomes a PI. And Frank also, as a PI, had found 19 children.
Whoa.
Yeah. So Frank is doing the work.
What a hero.
I know.
Oh my God.
So Frank had actually known Jessica and Vernal personally because he used to use the audio body shop that Vernal worked at.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So he knew them, and he had seen DeOrr and Jessica come in to visit Vernal.
Yeah.
And so he's like, I kind of have a little bit of a personal connection. So Frank actually offers to take on this case without his hourly rates and asks the family to help cover his out-of-pocket expenses. So travel and stuff.
Yeah.
He is local, but he's like, hey, I might have to go back and forth to this site, gas, maybe some lodging, whatever.
Maybe I need to hire an ATV.
Some expert stuff. Yeah. So he's like, I will do this pro bono for my work.
No fee for me.
Yeah. But you might need the help.
Yeah.
And so there is.
And you would obviously spend any amount of money.
Well, they start the GoFundMe.
Sure. Okay.
And the GoFundMe does make some...
But they might need it.
Yeah, they do.
But whatever you have, you would spend.
Yeah, absolutely. So Frank starts looking into this case, and he believes that the abduction angle is probably the most plausible because of the fact that there is zero trace of DeOrr at the campsite itself. And he starts his trail with a lead given to him by Jessica. So Jessica says that while at the convenience store that day, they went back into town, because remember they had to go back because she started her period. She needed to go get some supplies for that, which really sucks to be camping and on your period.
Yes,
do not
they
recommend.
need to go get tampons immediately.
Yeah. So she says while at the convenience store that there's a man very fixated at DeOrr at the convenience store at the stage top.
Did he have a black truck?
Why didn't she say this earlier?
I don't know.
So she told Frank that he was probably in his 50s and was a white man with white hair that curled at the ends. And he was seen driving a newer version of a black Jeep Rubicon. Different car.
I mean, ish.
So
Someone might still call that a truck.
if you have like...
I would have said Jeep.
I always said
'cause
Jeep.
Jeep is a Jeep.
Or an SUV.
I wouldn't have called it an SUV.
I feel like a truck is a truck.
It's got an open...
It's got a bed.
A bed, thank you. I was like, what's the word? It's not a cab.
Not a canopy. It's a bed. It's got a bed. So a truck is a truck. Everything, like a sedan, I guess like a car is a car.
A sedan is a car.
Yeah, sedan's a car.
Truck has a bed.
Yeah, and
An SUV is a non-Jeep.
Yeah.
Everything that is an SUV is an SUV. Mm-hmm. A Jeep is also an SUV,
Like
but
you
a
and I
Jeep is a Jeep.
both drive SUVs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Do you not consider your car an SUV?
No, I have a hatchback, which is a unique version of a sedan. It's got one extra door, but it looks like a sedan. I mean, it's just got one. It's definitely not an SUV.
Okay, I don't know.
It's a lowrider.
It's not a lowrider.
Yes, it is. It's like this far off the ground.
She drives an Impreza, guys.
Impreza Sport.
Okay, I'm sorry.
They are teeny tiny, and it is definitely not an SUV.
But you could take that up to a hiking trail if you wanted
I wouldn't.
to. You have?
Nope.
Really?
Nope.
Really?
No. We would take other vehicles.
Okay.
Any other vehicle.
All right. I mean, like, yeah, my car. I mean, I have an SUV.
You have an SUV.
I have a Forester.
Your car is very different.
My car is taller.
But a Jeep is an SUV, but all SUVs are not Jeeps.
Yes.
And it just has its own, it's just its own look.
And this is Car Talk with Missy
And then
Meg.
there's also a Bronco, which is sort of got the same energy.
A Bronco is cool, though. Like an old school Bronco.
It is an SUV.
It's a beachy vibe.
Yeah, and there is sort of something sort of Jeep-ish about it. They have that in common.
It's the Ford version of a Jeep.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, look at us.
Car Talk. We're so stupid. Okay, so Jessica tells Frank Vilt, this PI, this story about this guy at the stage shop, gives him a vague description.
It's not insignificant that the guy had a black vehicle.
Yes.
And it wasn't a car.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
we know that like eyewitness testimony and like the things we think we remember is extremely fallible.
Yeah. And that is a big part of this case, I think, too,
Yeah.
for sure. So a woman that wanted to remain anonymous says that she was hiking in the Swan Lake area, which is close by Lador.
Oh, wow.
With her 4 children. Sounds like a fucking nightmare to go on a hike with 4 kids.
One woman with 4 kids.
Ugh, I think
If
her
it
husband
was
is,
a day hike, maybe it would
but
be
like
okay.
it's still doing
Depends on
anything
how old
with
the kids are.
Yeah. Well, she claims to have interacted with a man in the similar description, and she was uncomfortable with how fixated he was on her kids, especially her youngest was around DeOrr's age.
Oh my God.
Like just a predator in this area.
Oh, it's like you're not safe anywhere.
Truly.
Okay.
So in a few other statements, either in interviews or on Facebook, Jessica was very, very active on Facebook about this case.
Okay.
So Jessica claimed that during this time at the stage shop, DeOrr was running her up and down the aisles and everyone was commenting on how cute he was and were just like gushing over him.
He's a
very cute little boy.
Now I'm uncomfortable with how much, but he is just like a little cherub. Like if Disney drew an adorable little baby boy, it would be this.
Yeah. However, workers and patrons that were at the stage shop that day say they did not remember DeOrr at all.
Oh, interesting.
So she's like making up this huge story about, oh, he was running around. Everyone's, oh my God, he's so cute.
Oh, okay.
And like she's saying, like they were like cashing out. She was like the person cashing them out was like, oh my God, this is such a cute little boy.
And they were like, no, we would have remembered that.
And Lador is a very small town. That's 100 people in 2020.
If a woman came with a tiny blonde child,
Yeah,
and
the
her
little-
husband, we would have remembered.
Yeah, and this was
It's likely.
not long after he disappeared
I feel like that's
too.
likely that, especially like if you live in a small town and then all of a sudden a family that was in your little store went missing, or like the child went missing, and then this enormous like search effort happens.
Yeah.
You're almost inclined to be like,
Do I remember
you're
this little boy?
thinking about it immediately. You're probably
Yeah.
more inclined to be like, oh, I remember it, even if it didn't happen.
Right.
Do you know what I
everyone-
mean?
But
Just to be in
everyone
the story, or you
says-
would lie about it just to be like, "Oh, I
wanna be in the
totally
news. I
I
don't know.
I remember them." But like to be like, "No, that definitely didn't happen," is interesting.
Everyone says that though. Everyone's like, this didn't happen,
Wow,
which is weird.
I know, because again, you'd be inclined to want to be a part of it.
Right.
Even
Yeah, but
amongst your
everyone's
friends,
like,
everyone would
no.
be like, "You work there? Did you see him?"
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
like, no,
No, definitely not.
and that can't be a conspiracy either.
No.
That many people would be like, "No."
No, this is weird. I did not
Unless
see this
is a
little
weird
boy.
traffic town, unless Jeffrey Epstein owns the town.
Maybe. I don't know. This is New Island? Or he's dead. Thank God. Okay.
So,
So
but he did have New Mexico homes.
that's true. All right.
I'm not
We
saying-
cannot.
No, I was making a.
No, I'm just saying we can't go in that rabbit hole right now. We're in a different rabbit hole.
She's like, oh God,
We gotta focus on the rabbit hole we're on.
there's so many missing children.
I know, it's really fucking gross. Okay, so the man described by Jessica really fixing on DeOrr is later identified
Okay,
and questioned by Lehigh sheriffs. And
how did they identify? Oh, because of the truck. Or the
I think just
Jeep.
because this town literally has 100 people in it,
they're
and
like, we know who. Has
you're like,
that
oh,
Jeep.
that's fucking George down the
okay.
road.
Okay.
So this guy is identified, and he's questioned by Lehigh sheriffs, and he says he doesn't remember DeOrr, and that like, he does frequent the stage shop because he is a local. But I don't remember this interaction. I don't remember this happening. He's like, I truly don't know what you're talking about.
So I'm sorry. I thought you said someone else a witness saw him with a.
So there was another woman who said she was on a hike.
I know,
and
but,
she's like, this guy creeped me out.
but before the break. Oh wait, so the guy that was maybe hiking,
Jeep Rubicon,
yes, might not have been the person.
who maybe was spotted with DeOrr on the day he went missing in the
Yes.
black truck that would look disheveled and gross and
That
dirty.
might be totally different.
totally different.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
fair.
you made that connection because you're like Jeep Rubicon,
But
black
technically,
truck.
there could be two totally different. This could be three totally different people.
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, that is a very good point to make because, like I said, this case is very complicated.
Okay.
There's a lot of different scenarios.
different characters.
Different characters, different scenarios that can happen. But either way, this guy, he's like, yeah, I go to the stage shop. I go down there, get a cup of coffee, whatever. He's like, but I definitely don't remember this little boy. He's like, I don't remember watching him. And so sheriffs are like, okay, like, we're going to wash our hands of this, essentially.
Okay.
Along with Frankville. They're
Or it's like data captured. Got it.
yeah, they're like, okay, like we have your name
Clocked it.
down. Yeah, like you say that you go here. It's just like, okay, like next.
It's a
right.
part of the puzzle.
Yeah. So on September 25th, which is about 2 months after DeOrr goes missing, Frank Milt drops this case. And he drops it with a strongly worded letter to Vernal and Jessica.
Oh no.
And I'm going to read the fucking letter. It's not good. Okay.
Oh, this sounds like it's going to be scathing.
The RE is investigation of DeOrr Jr. And he says, Dear DeOrr, which remember, Vernal is also called DeOrr. So, Dear DeOrr and Jessica, as I previously informed you today via my text to your cellular telephone at 8:31 a.m., I am withdrawing from the investigation because of the circumstances beyond my control, including but not limited to a breach of trust on your part concerning your refusal to allow me to make this case national. I am perplexed as to why you did not want me to advertise the $20,000 reward. I was willing to put up personal funds in the hopes that the public could provide the information leading to the whereabouts of your son. When I agreed to assist you, I informed you that I would work for my out-of-pocket expenses. I was willing to forego my normal hourly fee. My stipulation was that both of you would be absolutely truthful. I told both of you that if I felt you were not telling the truth, stalling me, or otherwise misleading me, that I would withdraw from the investigation. In my personal opinion, both of you lied and misrepresented the true facts that could solve the mystery of your missing son.
Oh, dear.
There are other aspects of this case that I cannot go into at this time, but simply put, I believe the searches will be non-productive. The searches are only used by you to cover a possible crime that one or both of you may have committed. Emphasis added. My suggestion is that you fully cooperate with the Lemhi County Sheriff to tell the truth. I do not appreciate the fact that one or both of you are spreading the rumors that you have paid me. I have not received reimbursement to cover my expenses.
Oh.
I also feel that you are exploiting the public for financial gain. How can you live with yourselves?
Oh.
Sooner or later, the truth will come out.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
He wrote this
On September 25th, 2015.
in what way was he served this to them? This was just
This
like
is
an
a
email?
letter. This is a letter.
A letter. And
It's-
was it leaked? Like, how do we have this letter?
So to kind of backtrack a little bit. So Vernal and Jessica, they were basically kind of talking shit about Frank, saying that he was using them for their money. Like he basically got his payment from them and wasn't like working on looking for their son, and that he
everyone already looked for their son.
but like they're saying because he's like a PI, he's like using this for like financial gain.
So he's got to do something different than being out there like on foot. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I know. But they're saying, so Jessica...
he said he wasn't doing it. What do you expect him to do that he's not doing?
Jessica and Vernal said that they paid him and he took the money and ran.
Okay.
And so he's like, fuck you guys.
Yeah.
And they're making this public on Facebook and stuff, and people are going after Frank.
Oh, so he might have released it.
He released it as like a response.
Public response.
Yeah, he's like, fuck you both.
Oh, he threw them all the way under the bus.
Yeah, 100% under the bus.
Wow.
It's a pretty damning letter.
Extremely.
Yeah.
It is one person's opinion. I would argue probably an educated opinion. Mm-hmm. But that is, these aren't facts.
Yeah.
He didn't share any evidence.
No, I don't think he can, because he is also working with the Lemhi County Sheriff.
If he found anything he could give, he probably could turn it over. I feel like it would be his job to turn information over.
So there are parts of this case that are not made public, including like Vernal's 911 call that we talked about in the first episode. And I do think there are some things that the sheriff's department are holding close to their chest.
Sure. Yeah. I imagine there's a reason.
Yeah.
And if he found anything, maybe he did share it.
And like,
maybe he heard the 911 call and was like, interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, the plot thickens.
Oh, no.
Okay. So like I said, so
that is so damning.
I know. Frank posted this letter because people were attacking him because Jessica and Vernal were saying they took their money and ran, essentially, like I said, which is fucked up because this guy basically offered to do it for free. Frank says that he is trying to push DeOrr's case to get some more national attention and raise awareness. So this is why he quit. Sorry.
Yeah.
So he's saying that he's basically being like, hey, we need to go to Nancy Grace. We need to go to your Dr. Phil's. We need to talk about this nationally. And he's like, I have $20,000. I will put it as a reward to anyone that helps find DeOrr. And Jessica and Vernal are both like, no. And I'm trying to play devil's advocate here and be like, why would you say no?
I don't know why you would say no to anything you think could help.
And like, maybe they just felt like it's too much for Frank to offer that money is like my only thought. Be like, oh, that's too much.
But if your kid is missing and you can't afford it, I think
yeah,
you still wouldn't refuse it.
I agree.
You'd be like, I'm indebted to you forever. I thank you so much. We need this. This
I
is
know,
what
and
we need.
I agree, but I'm just trying to think of the only reason why they would say no.
I can think of no reason if my child was missing
I agree
that I would refuse it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially this is what this man's here for, to help you find your kid, and he thinks this is what you should do.
And they're just like, no, we don't want to do that. I told you this gets fucking complicated. So the closest explanation as to why the parents pushed back on going national and offering this reward is that the parents claim that the sheriff at the time, Lynn Bowerman, said to not do that. So Vernal and Jessica are saying that the sheriff, the Lehigh County Sheriff's like, hey, like maybe we shouldn't talk about this nationally. Maybe we should put out a reward. They're saying that Lynn Bowerman said not to do that. And Lynn Bowerman later, he's like, that's a fucking lie.
Everyone says they're lying. Oh,
yeah. He's
dear.
like, I never said that. I never told them to not do that, is what he says. And another reason why Frank drops this case is that the timeline inconsistencies that we've talked about and we will continue to talk about are just like not adding up. He's like, something's fucking wrong here. This is off. I don't like it. So Frank is asked what his theory was for what happened to little DeOrr. And he thinks that maybe Jessica had set up some sort of secret adoption of DeOrr.
What?
I will explain. So he points out that Jessica had 2 other kids, but had given up custody to these kids to her ex-husband. And Jessica says that she did this because she was having a hard time financially holding down a job.
Okay.
And so she thought it was best for the kids to go live with their dad.
That's fine.
And I think that makes sense.
That's fine.
Because their dad has a steady and stable income. She's like, and I guess Vernal was also having a hard time holding a job. She's like,
what are we not talking about with the 2 of them? Why? Because they didn't immediately they looked totally normal to me.
Yeah.
For Idaho folks.
There's a big question there.
But what are we missing? When she can't keep a job and he also can't keep a job?
Well, when he like now was a truck driver, but it seemed like maybe there was a time that he wasn't.
Okay, well, yeah.
Maybe he was getting a CDL. That's the whole thing. I don't know.
Yeah. Or maybe it was just like, they were young too.
They're pretty
like
young. They're like
mid-20s.
Mid-20s, yeah. She's already had 3 kids.
And
been divorced.
I don't know exactly where they live, but I imagine
Idaho.
Okay, it's a small, that's not an enormous city. I have been there.
Yeah.
You know.
It's not like, no, you know. It's not Lador where it's 100 people.
True.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's not like it's a booming industry town.
No, yeah. So Jessica's like, hey, like, the reason why I gave custody of my 2 kids to their dad, my ex-husband, is because he had a steady income, he had a steady job. I felt like a bare, stable environment for the kids.
Okay.
Which is respectable and commendable. You know, but so Frank is like, well, she already gave up 2 kids because of like financial reasons. Her and Vernal are engaged at this point. I don't think I put that out there earlier, but they are engaged and not married yet. And she does have a job. She's not been great with holding in a job. And so maybe they just decided that like they can't support DeOrr. And so they decide to give him up in a weird handoff situation.
And then make a huge deal about it, calling 911.
Well, it's like I think there's either 2 different avenues of this. Either that Vernal knows that she did this and is playing along with it. And they're like basically just gaslighting everyone. Or Jessica's the only one that knows this and is
has no idea.
gaslighting everybody else. Right. But like, why do it on this camping trip? Why not, if you're going to do this, say you took your kid to a playground, to a Walmart, to whatever, and you like lost sight of
cameras?
him. I guess that's a good point. But she'd be like, yeah, I lost sight of him for 2 minutes and he was gone. I don't know. I don't know. It's so weird. It's like it's a really weird scenario. I give Frank Hilt a lot of props, but I don't think his theory is correct. I'm like, this doesn't make sense.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Heard. It feels like a stretch.
Yeah, totally. So in January 2016, Lynn Bowerman, the Lehigh County Sheriff, names Jessica and Vernal as persons of interest in the disappearance of DeOrr. He's like, I'm suspicious of both of you. And he states publicly that he thinks that these are not telling the whole story of what happened to DeOrr. He goes on to state that he's now making this public because of the fact that both Vernal and Jessica failed their initial polygraph tests. And so they had taken these initial polygraph tests like a couple weeks after DeOrr went missing.
Okay.
And after a report comes back from the FBI, the FBI's BAU, Behavioral Analysis Unit, they also say that the inconsistent stories and timelines are also raising suspicions for them as well. So Lynn Bowerman, the sheriff, he's like, okay, you guys are taking polygraph tests like in the summertime after DeOrr was missing. And during these polygraph tests, they fail them. Like, not just like inconclusive, they fucking fail them. To put it out there. And they take a couple and they fail all of them. Badly. And so while this is happening, the FBI has also gotten involved in the case, and they have taken all their stuff. They've gone back to DC, wherever they're at, and they compile a report, and it doesn't come back to Bowerman until this time. And so Bowerman's looking at the failed polygraph tests and the report from the BAU, and he's like, I think you guys did something after the information given to him. To just give you an idea of what's happening. Yeah. So to dive a little further into these polygraphs, Vernal and Jessica couldn't specifically answer or pass 2 questions. The first one asking where DeOrr is. They couldn't pass that. Or saying that they don't know where DeOrr is. And the other...
Sorry, the question was, do you know where he is? What was the question?
So, do you know where DeOrr is?
Okay.
No. They fail it.
Okay.
Yeah. And the other is asking if they know what happened to DeOrr. And they say no. And they fail that. So Bowerman, at some point, he sees that the polygraph test fail. And I don't know if they know that they failed the polygraph test initially. It's kind of up in the air about that. So he goes to them and he's like, hey, was there an accident? Did something happen? And like, you guys just don't want to admit it. You don't want to tell us. Like, you feel ashamed, like you, whatever. He's like, it's okay. Like, just tell me. And they both kind of double down. They're like, no, we don't know where he is. He's like, okay, this is fucking weird. So with all of this, charges have yet to be filed against Jessica and Vernal. So it may seem like there's at least some suspicion, but not enough evidence to actually formally charge either of them. And I think...
Doesn't sound like it.
No, and I keep kind of comparing this to Casey Anthony because I think she was charged too quickly. Like, they kind of jumped the gun on prosecuting her. And so this is a couple years after that, and I don't know, maybe people are like, I need to get all my bearings. We don't know where her body is. If there is a body, where's DeOrr? We don't know, but shit's not adding up.
They did find the body, though.
That's
Kaylee
true.
Anthony.
They did find Kaylee. Yeah, that's very true. I guess that's a big difference. Yeah. If Kaylee hadn't been found, they probably wouldn't have actually.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah. So at the same time, Jessica and Vernal are being marked as persons of interest. They hire a new PI. But this PI would cause more questions to the disappearance of DeOrr Kunz than answers.
No.
Yeah.
It goes badly with another one?
Uh-huh.
Oh, no, that is bad.
I know.
Okay.
So this PI...
I'm sitting here really trying to give them the benefit of the doubt even
I
now.
know.
I'm
I keep trying
no,
to.
there's a second one.
Yeah. And this PI kind of goes like fully scorched earth.
Oh, my God. What?
Okay. So after Frank Vilt fires the family... Just basically, for lack of a better word, he's like, you guys are fucking lying. I'm out of here. Also, don't fucking run my name through the mud.
Shit,
How
okay.
fucking dare you?
Oh my God, it gets worse.
It does. So Jessica, Vernal, and their extended families hire another private investigator named Philip Klein, and he's based out of Texas. And he has a private investigation firm called Klein Investigations and Consulting, also known as KIC. Cool. I'm going to refer to it as KIC.
Okay.
So Klein and the firm have about 30 years of experience in the PI field. And Philip Klein is very much of a salesman. If he wasn't a PI, he'd probably be like, I don't know, a realtor or a used car salesman. Like, he's got like that vibe, right? He has never had experience like Frank Vilt of being a officer or a sheriff in any shape or form.
It seems like that would come in handy.
Maybe
he employs people that are?
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
Depends on the arrangement.
I mean, he has a whole ass firm.
Yeah.
With like
So
people working underneath him. So
yeah.
he probably does have some people that were previously in law enforcement.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Philip Klein hears about the DeOrr's case after a lot of media attention, and people kind of tag him in Facebook and Instagram posts because Jessica and Vernal are very, very vocal about how the Lemhi Sheriff's Department now have tunnel vision and thinking that they're persons of interest, and they're not exploring other explanations of what happened to DeOrr.
There's gotta be a reason.
I know. But like people are kind of tagging Philip Klein now. They're like, hey, like you should help these people.
Okay.
And it seems like people who knew Jessica and Vernal reached out to KIC, but not Jessica and Vernal themselves.
Okay.
So Philip Klein asks...
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, so Philip Klein asks...
They might have not wanted anyone else to poke around too closely in their business.
And I will get into that.
Okay.
Yeah, so Philip asks... Philip Klein, the PI, he asks Caroline Gear, his VP on the firm, to reach out to Jessica and Vernal, trying to like set up a preliminary interview and just get a baseline of what's happening, see if they want to work with them, what's going on here. Because we're like getting inundated with these messages and tagging, and every time I go on social media, someone's DeOrr, right? So Vernal is talking to Caroline and KIC, but Jessica's just not interested in talking to the PI firm. And there's a few reasons for this, I think. So Jessica maybe wasn't interested in working with the PI firm because the fact that the case has grown more in the news cycle and was becoming a bigger story. And she's thinking maybe the firm is just trying to get a headline. I'm just like trying to like give her the devil's advocate avenue right now. So she's like, okay, like this case is getting bigger. It's getting
and it seems like if at best they appreciate privacy.
Yes. And yeah, it's more sensationalized. People are talking about it more. And like now this firm is like reaching out to us. She's like, you just want a headline.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's also the fact
she's
that
suspicious now because they had just a really bad experience
because
with the last
they
guy.
had just worked with a previous PI and he basically scorched her.
Makes
like,
sense.
Fuck you guys.
Definitely.
But I would say that's because of their actions. So she's got a little distrust. I can
makes sense.
understand. So Philip does say that he will also work for this case just for expenses like travel and experts, stuff like that, because he is a bigger firm and they do pro bono cases, like 1 or 2 every year. He's like, we got money aside to do a pro bono case. So we can do this as a pro bono case this year. So regardless of how Jessica feels, the Vernal and his dad, Dennis, they decide that they want to work with KIC and they start another GoFundMe. Okay. And they raise expenses for hiring KIC.
Okay.
So there's the GoFundMe. There's also some like kind of in-person benefits in Idaho Falls. And they help raise about $29,000.
Okay.
To hire KIC. And from what I've read is that they basically, Vernal and Dennis, Vernal's dad, they gave KIC 20 grand. KIC has come back multiple times being like, we don't know where the other $9,000 went.
Okay.
So they're like, they kept $9,000. We don't know where that went. And there is a lawsuit later, and I think that comes into play.
$9,000, I don't know. Like,
I'll touch on that later. But yeah.
There's a lot of things that could happen. That's not that much money.
It's not that much money, but it's not like an insignificant amount of money.
It's not that much money.
If someone like walk up to you tomorrow and be like, hey, you want $9,000? You'd be like, what do you fucking want?
No, I'm just saying if they threw a benefit, it's possible that like the $9,000 came from the cost of the event.
Yeah.
It could be that like the two of them were already barely, at least she was barely employed. That are you not you're taking, I don't know, just like how reliable is your income after your kid goes missing?
Yeah. So
maybe $9,000 to live on. What's wrong with that?
We will tap into that specific thought in a little bit. Okay. So the main use of this $20,000 would be used for airfare and lodging of KIC because they're based in Texas, so people have to fly up to do this case. And it's also getting sort of outside experts that would be brought in. And there are some outside experts that are brought in. I think the cadaver dog I talked about specifically was one of those people. These funds, the $20,000, are used, but Vernal and Jessica were never charged for any employee time of anyone from KIC.
Okay, got it.
Which is like they're doing the pro bono stuff. So the $20,000 is just
I didn't realize, and like it makes sense that you would still have to pay for like things, even if someone's working pro. It's like I won't bill you for our time, which is a lot.
Yeah, my hourly rate is not going towards this. It's just everything else outside of that.
But it still could be quite expensive. Yeah.
Philip Klein and KIC investigators start working on the case on December 2015. So we're going back a little bit because I remember I said that Sheriff Bowerman in 2016 of January is like, you are now persons of interest. So we're going to backtrack a little bit. So they interview the sheriff and they start looking over the FBI report, the initial report. And so they also talk to Frank Vilt and he reiterates why he thinks Jessica and Vernal are lying about something. But Philip Klein is still trying to stay neutral on if Jessica and Vernal are innocent or not, or guilty. So on December 14th, 2015, Philip Klein and Caroline Gear, they go up to Idaho Falls with a couple other employees to interview Jessica and Vernal and Bob and Isaac, along with any other family members that want to talk to them. And they also go to see the site itself and just get like boots on the ground and establish a timeline of the day that DeOrr went missing. They're just like trying to do like the baseline work, right? So when the first meeting happens between Philip, Caroline, Jessica, and Vernal, so half of the PIs in Jessica and Vernal, Caroline and Philip instantly note the lack of emotion coming from Jessica and Vernal.
Yeah.
They also note that the other family members that were in the room that day, that they were all talking, seemed to be much more upset about DeOrr's disappearance than Jessica and Vernal.
Wow.
It's like they were talking about like how they were, like Jessica was like sitting between his like legs. And they were just kind of like sitting there hanging out. And everyone else was like crying. They're like, well, help us. And they were just kind of like hanging out.
How many months later was this? Or this was still...
This was December, and he went missing in July.
So 6 months later.
Yeah, 5 or 6 months.
And people are still crying about it.
Yeah. I mean...
Yeah.
But like you can't really like gauging grief is hard. I mean, like I said before, like they could have been like beta blockers or like some sort of antidepressants where they're just like kind of... Maybe I don't know. I'm just trying to, like I said, like I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, but...
I do think that like something, because I've heard like Amanda Knox talk about this, that like it's obviously not her child, but like this thing happened that was horrifying, and she was immediately really upset about it.
Totally.
But then when you are suddenly put in a position where you have to defend yourself, there's something that happens where like you're fighting for your own life and you're like in protection mode. It is again very different than it being your own child, but I think there's probably something to that like now they're feeling like the suspicion is on them.
Yeah.
So
and
like
maybe they're like
explain.
a little more stoic.
Yeah, or
know.
just sort of dissociated or like separated. It looks like 1 degree of separation from. I definitely feel the pain of this tragedy that's happening or happened, but there's all this other reality that's also needs a different type of attention.
Yeah, like maybe like
So
like your brain just like kind of shuts off part of it.
Yeah,
It's a defense mechanism.
Yeah,
it's a good point. Yeah. So they do this meeting. They meet Jessica, they meet Vernal, they meet some other family members between Jessica's mom, Tina, and I think Vernal's dad, Dennis, was also there. I think maybe Bob was there. And they're just like, there's some kind of weird red flags for them with Jessica and Vernal that day. And I think in a later interview, Philip says he gets in the car and he's like, oh, fuck, what did I get myself into? He's like, this is weird. And like, I can't say one or the other, but I think it's something to notice or note, I think. So Vernal's first interview with KIC lasts about 3 hours. And Vernal tells KIC something that he hadn't told the Lemhi sheriff or the FBI.
Okay.
So Vernal says that while at the campsite, DeOrr's playing around Vernal's truck, and DeOrr tells his dad that there's a lug nut missing. A 2-year-old says that to his dad. On one of his back tires, and then he reaches his hand to the exhaust pipe of the truck. Like the little boy does this. And then KIC finds some information that has been confirmed but never been explained by the Lemhi County Sheriff that there were traces of blood on the back tire and the bumper area of Vernal's truck. Blood and bodily fluids. So
where did this story come from of the lug nut?
So Vernal's telling KIC this now in December.
Why?
I don't know. Like he just like fucking talks. I don't like.
Did they find?
They keep saying weird shit. They just keep making up.
Is
other
it leakage?
I don't like
Jim
a
Clemente would say leakage.
like a lug nut on like a on his tire, like one of the nuts to keep your
3-year-old. I mean, he seems like a country boy, but that seems like a stretch.
man, there's a lug nut missing. Like I don't fucking know.
But like it might explain that if you know that someone hurt that kid on accident in a vehicular homicide, maybe we're partying, maybe it was carelessness, maybe XYZ thing happened. If you had to suddenly explain why there would be body fluids on your vehicle
or DNA
Exactly, DNA.
Yeah.
But then you would start saying crazy things like he knew what lug nuts were.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So the sheriff doesn't share this information with KIC until after they get the recorded interview with Vernal telling this story about the lug nut. They're like, oh, fuck.
So now it's come up.
So now
They already knew that.
They already knew that.
Oh my God.
And so it seems like they have some stuff kind of filed away.
Certainly. They must have they must have clocked them immediately.
They have clocked something immediately, that's for sure. So they're like, oh, hey, we know there's some blood and some bodily fluids back there.
Oh my God.
And they like, when they watch that
I
interview.
didn't know any of this. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it's crazy. So another weird anomaly that KIC finds is that both Jessica and Vernal, while being interviewed, say that they stopped at a specific Walmart on the way to the campground. And they also stopped and got gas at some point.
Okay.
So I'm going to elaborate. So Vernal even expands on the story and says at the gas station, there was a beer truck. And the driver and Vernal were like chatting with DeOrr because Vernal is a truck driver. And DeOrr was excited to see the beer truck. It's like an 18-wheeler. And
okay.
The delivery driver, this is what Vernal says, the delivery driver lets DeOrr sit in the cab of his truck.
Okay.
He's like, oh, you're so cute. Sit in the cab of the truck, hang out. But when CCTV footage is looked at by the sheriff and KIC...
Hey, buddy.
What's in Heather Coleman? Sorry, I got a dog doing something. Do you want to come up here? Do we need to come up?
Around the other way. Like it's...
Come in. You can also just go under. Come here. You can do it. I know. You can do it.
we laughed. Come on.
It's okay.
Because like this mic is sort of near me. Like I don't want to hit my head on it.
Thank you. Are you better? Buddy. Thank you for
some kisses.
Right.
All right, sit down. It's fine.
You're fine. I know, baby dog. Hi. Oh my goodness. I know. Life's hard.
Millennial pet ownership is honestly too much. Drama. Coleman, sit the hell down. Calm down. Don't come over here.
He's like, oh, you're being mean to me? Can I make...
Okay. All right. Now you've officially kissed everyone. Sit down.
You've looked all the people in this room.
Yeah, I can't. The dogs are just, it's a big dog is too much. I feel like I might be able to.
He's not even that big.
He's like a normally decently, I mean, he's not that big.
No.
He's a big dog though. He's not like a tiny dog.
No, he's a medium-sized dog.
If an animal is going to put its tongue on me, I prefer it to be a small tongue.
Wow.
That's all I'm saying.
That's,
That's what you said.
I'm going to pack that away for later.
The smaller the better. If it's like,
that is what she said. Oh, shit. Okay.
This is serious, Coleman. Sit down.
We're in like the juicy part of the story.
It's also quite a serious story. A little boy is missing.
Buddy.
He's like, I know.
He's like, I'm very concerned. That's why I'm up here now. You're fine.
Do you know what happened, Coleman?
Okay. So they talk about this beer truck, and everyone's like, okay, this is fucking weird. Why weren't we talking about this earlier? KIC.
Drama, dude.
No, I'm sorry. My dog is being very dramatic. Okay. The CCT footage is looked at by the sheriffs and KIC at the Walmart that Jessica and Vernal talked about. Mm-hmm. But DeOrr is not with his parents at the Walmart.
Oh, interesting. They see them without him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why did they talk about Walmart?
I don't know.
No.
And when the beer truck is looked into, so there's no beer trucks on that delivery route that stopped at the gas station that day or night. And even weirder, the beer company that Vernal had mentioned had been out of business for 2 years at the time. He's like, oh, it was this beer delivery.
Just a lie then. Just a total lie.
I guess.
Why would you lie about this?
I don't fucking know. And then when Philip Klein was able to track down the guy who does deliver beer in that area and asked him about this like situation, like, hey, did you see a little boy? Did the little boy get in your cab? Did you see this man? Showed him pictures and stuff. And the guy's, he's like, I would never let a young child in the cab of my truck because that's a big no-no with the company. I would have gotten fired if someone found out about this. Like, you don't do that.
Interesting. Okay.
So he's like, no.
Like their insurance stuff.
Yeah. Like, whatever. So
interesting.
So Vernal and Jessica also say that DeOrr had interacted with a cashier at the stage stop, the convenience store in Lador, when they got to the camp area that night, like before. And when asked the cashier, she's like, no, I never interacted with that baby that night. She's like, I don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
Why would they like make up all this?
I don't know.
And it just seems like impossible that all these different people would lie about it.
Yeah, it's also, you know? Did they just not think that people were going to follow up and ask about it?
That part is given Casey Anthony.
I know.
That's what's familiar. That part, sure. Mm-hmm.
So KIC spends a week initially in Idaho Falls gathering information in December before heading back down to Texas to try to create a timeline that makes sense. Like, they interview Vernal, they interview Jessica, they interview Isaac, they interview Bob, and they're like, what the fuck is going on here, right? Mm-hmm. And they're just trying to figure out what the hell is going on with this case. So about a month later, that's when on January 25th, 2016, they fly back to Idaho Falls, and this is when they find out about the Limhi sheriffs have officially named Vernal and Jessica as persons of interest in the disappearance of DeOrr.
Got it.
So, yeah, we backtracked a little bit. And this is when shit kind of starts to hit the fan.
This is when it's just been too many coincidences, too much lying, too many. Mm-hmm. And then, okay, now you're officially, it's a red flag.
Yeah.
So much that you're an official.
Yeah, the flags are raised, right?
Yeah, gotcha.
So this is when, shit hits the fan and the relationship between Vernal and Jessica and KIC starts to fall apart. Mm-hmm. For lack of a better word. So Vernal at this point gets a lawyer, and the night of January 25th, he gets on the phone with Caroline Gear, the VP of KIC, because she's pissed because now KIC finds out that Vernal had failed his polygraph test, his first one that I talked about, and he had initially told her that it was inconclusive. And this is the clip I'm going to play for you. I was trying to find.
Okay.
Why did you lie to me about your polygraph test?
Because that's what I was told. There's an interview. That's his exact words were, it's inconclusive, but I'd say it's an inconclusive pass. Were his exact words to me. I never lied to anybody.
Okay, because when we've been told something completely different, that they told you that you absolutely failed with deception.
Welcome to Idaho, sweetheart. That's how this works, apparently.
So you're saying that...
guilty until proven innocent with everybody.
Okay, we just played the call.
Yeah, so the PI firm is saying, you lied to us and said that test was inconclusive.
Yeah.
And he said, that's what I was told. I was explicitly told.
And cops can lie to you about that
That's
stuff.
what I'm saying. They can lie to you. And then the PI firm is saying, they told us that they explicitly told her that you failed with deception. And he denies that that's what he was told.
Yeah, and he says, welcome to Idaho, sweetheart.
He does say
in a very condescending, gross way.
He is fired up.
If he
was lied to by the cops,
he'd probably be very pissed. But wait, can we not do the weird demeaning of women in that moment, sir? I'm sorry. This really pissed me off. That triggered me. I don't know. Being called sweetheart in that condescending little fucking tone, I would have figured out a way to hand my fist or put my fist.
No, but she already has
phone,
him like dead to rights. Like, she's already like, we're done with you anyway. It's all he's lashing out.
He's lashing out. Yeah, it's not good. But like, it just kind of.
But was he lied to? He could have been lied to. He might be
very
telling
much
the
could have
truth.
been lied to. You're right. And yeah, I mean, I thought that too. Police can lie to you.
Yeah.
And there was a video I watched with another PI watching this, and he's like, "Yeah, they could have just said, oh yeah, like it's an inconclusive pass or whatever.
Yes.
Just to not scare you, because they want to keep you talking.
Yeah.
So it's just." It's not good. I also, for me, the thing that kind of struck me, besides the sweetheart comment that really pissed me off, is the fact that how fucking pissed he gets so quickly.
I imagine that the two of them, before that was recorded, they were either having a conversation, there were emails back and forth, there were text messages, there were voicemails. They got on the phone or whatever when that clip started, they were already at a 10. So I don't think that phone call is an indication of like how angry, like how quickly a person can get angry.
Okay, that's fair. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Welcome to Idaho, sweetheart. Makes me like want to rip someone's face off.
I think you're triggered
I know.
for reasons.
Totally. Okay. And just a note in the polygraph tests, because polygraph tests are neither here or there, right? We've kind of all been like, polygraphs. We talked about that a lot with our last episode with Tim Walton.
Yeah, so it's interesting. I think this polygraph results it doesn't matter at the end of the day.
Okay, but
it is a red flag though.
But here's this. Okay.
That's all it is.
So both Vernal and Jessica have taken and failed their polygraph tests every time they've taken them about this case.
It's a red flag again.
I think Jessica takes it 9 times, Vernal takes it 5.
Why would they keep doing it?
Yeah. And
you literally no.
And they also fall within the 99th percentile of an indicated deception.
Again, they are not passed. They were not admissible in court, so that's all we can say.
Yeah.
I would just say, are you dumb? Because why are you doing this over and over and over and over again?
It's a great question.
Because now she's got 9.
I know.
And I have to say, it doesn't matter if there are 9, although I think it is interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. It is interesting.
It is interesting plus.
Yeah. Interesting.
Sketch.
Interesting plus. $12.95 without ads.
It is more. Yeah, I don't like it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
if I was guilty, I wouldn't have done it a bunch of times.
Yeah. I wouldn't try to prove my innocence with polygraph tests.
Repeatedly.
And keep failing it. Yeah. So once the announcement is made about Jessica and Vernal being persons of interest in the DeOrr's disappearance, Jessica's brought back in and has another interview for 6 hours, almost 8 hours, with the FBI.
Okay.
They're like, you need to come and talk to us. So now this is according to Philip Klein, the PI. But he says that he thinks Jessica's about to tell FBI officials what really happened. He's like, I can feel it. She's about to admit what happened, what's going on. But for some reason, she just clams back up and just goes nowhere again with the story. He's like, we were right there. Like we maybe said the wrong thing at the wrong time. And she just like closes back up again.
Wow.
So this is weird. This next couple, it's just weird. Okay, we'll get there. Okay, so Jessica leaves his interview and Vernal picks her up from the interview for the FBI. And Vernal's now under surveillance because they're like, you are persons of interest.
Got to be going through it at this point.
Yeah.
My God.
Jessica and Vernal are followed to an adult store where they pick up an item called Clone My Willy.
Okay.
Which is a kit that you clone your partner's penis and you make it into a vibrator.
Okay. And is the speculation that they're preparing for some time apart?
I think it's just weird.
Oh, okay.
It's weird to do
Why
this.
would she need a clone of his peen if they're together, though?
And make it. It's just weird to do this when your kid's missing. You were just interviewed by the FBI for fucking 6 to 8 hours. You've been grilled. You're now a persons of interest.
Oh, immediately after.
Yeah, no, immediately after. Immediately after he picks her up, they go to the adult store. They get this Clone My Willy thing.
That is weird.
It's fucking weird.
Okay, I was like, sorry, but are you expecting me to believe that if they are in love and they're still together, that they aren't like sexually active?
No, I'm not saying that.
Immediately after that, a situation is
on the way
arguably
home,
very strange.
They pick up the Clone My Willy.
It wouldn't be unless he's really demented. I don't know.
It's a weird thing to know. I think it's just notable. I think it's fucking weird.
Because they're under surveillance. I was like, why do we know this?
Yeah, he gets followed because he's under surveillance and he picked up Jessica.
Even if we didn't know what they bought, which I'm like suspicious that like why would we even know exactly what they bought?
There's a receipt.
Oh, Jesus. Even going there seems like an odd thing to do.
I agree.
I would be like, I'm going home to sleep.
Because, yeah, we talk about...
I need to take a shower to wash this, like, stress off.
Yeah.
And go to sleep. Like, maybe I'm hungry. Maybe I have a fucking headache and I need some ibuprofen.
If anything, I'd be going to the liquor store and
also
buying
potentially that. Yes.
big
it would
ass
just
bottle
be
of
like,
tequila.
I don't know. When I'm, like, truly run down, I don't even want to drink.
That's
Is
true.
fun for me. When
Yeah.
I'm, like, really, truly exhausted, I'm like,
Yeah. That's
knock
very
me
fair.
out and,
Yeah.
like, it's Tylenol PM.
I'm fucking going out for 12 hours.
Yeah.
I'm going under.
Yeah.
It's... I don't know. I'm trying not to, like, speculate about these people, but I do think other cases we've talked about, like, it feels weird to me that they would be so sexually active like this, like, a couple months after their kid went missing is weird to me. Because I feel like if you're in this stage of grief, maybe it's like you need to be close to somebody in some
I
sort
think
of
some
way.
people have a vice that is different than
That's
my
true.
particular vice.
It's very weird. It's fucking weird to do.
I still think like going to a sex shop is still different than just
Boning.
yes.
Yeah, totally. Boning to feel something because you're
Yes.
so grief ridden. Yeah, I agree. That's why I put
Yeah,
it
just
in
like
here.
a release, sort of just
yeah,
like
anything else. Yeah, that's
But,
true.
like,
The Clone My Willie thing is fucking weird.
Well, that's why I was like, did you bring it up? Because it's like maybe like they had discussed, like if something happened, is he gonna go to prison for it? And then do you need a clone of my peen because we love each other so much? I'm gonna go to prison for our crimes or my crimes or whatever.
Crimes or whatever. Yeah. So the same night
Interesting.
as the Clone My Willie, in the FBI interview, Jessica calls Caroline, the VP of KIC, at midnight, and she tells Caroline how she had taken and failed another polygraph test that day. So they give her another polygraph test and she fucking fails it. And Caroline asks Jessica if she knows where DeOrr is. She's like, do you know where he is? What is going
Why do you
on?
keep feeling it? Like, obviously we know why you're feeling it. What do you know?
And Jessica responds with, quote, on the mountain. And Caroline responds with, so you're saying he's on the mountain? And then Jessica says, well, yeah, that's where I left him last. Which is fucking a weird cryptic thing to say. Like, on the mountain, so you're saying that's where he is? Yeah, that's where I left him last. Yes, technically that is where you left him last. Like, you
Unless
were camping.
It was like,
you were camping there, right? That's
Yeah.
if that's what you're saying. But
yeah.
you just say, I don't know. The last time I saw him was at the campsite. Unless she's drunk or high.
Or unless she's feeling really bad about it. Yes. Yeah.
It's a weird fucking thing to say.
Or she thinks that like he's dead out there,
Yeah, I guess.
and that's where I left him.
yeah.
That is a less odd thing. That conversation
That
is
almost-
still
yeah.
not an admission of anything to me.
None of this is. I'm not saying any of
But
this is.
the
I just think it's all
ship thing is
fucking
weird.
weird.
I wouldn't say that that's necessarily weird.
It's like kind of like a red. That to me almost seems like a thing you say when you're drunk or high,
Could be.
and you're like distressed because of this
Yeah,
thing.
you feel guilty.
You
you're
feel
upset,
guilty. You're calling.
exhausted.
You're
or
calling the other woman on this case because you feel like you resonate with her, and you say some weird shit. I'm just saying it's fucking weird.
or you've been asked that question so many times.
Yeah.
To Saturday that you're just like,
Here's
I'm going to
here's-
answer it a slightly different way
Right.
than I've answered it the 400 other times.
Yeah,
I've been
here's my
asked.
weird Nancy Drew answer or something. I don't know. So after all these revelations, KIC decides to send a few undercover PIs up to Idaho Falls to follow Vernal and Jessica, but also to get in contact with Isaac.
Yeah.
So Isaac was the friend of Bob, right?
Yeah, I would have thought people would have been doing a lot of research about those two.
And they have. But like the thing about Isaac is his story never changes. He's like, I went off to do my own thing. I went fishing. I don't fucking know what happened. Is what he always says. So what these undercover PIs did is go to bars that Isaac frequented and basically befriended him because he's a little slow. And they got some interesting information out of Isaac.
Oh.
So for the most part, Isaac has never changed his story and what happened that day. He says that him and Jessica were walking down to the fishing spot with Vernal and what he thought was DeOrr in tow, is what he says. And what he tells these undercover PIs is that Bob was actually taking a nap in his camper during this time. He's like, Bob was sleeping in the camper. I went down with Jessica. Vernal and DeOrr, I thought, were behind us. And I showed Jessica this fishing spot. I went off and did my own thing and went fishing. So he says Bob's asleep. Which, if Jessica's
sense.
story is like, hey, I asked my grandfather to watch my baby.
Just think, if anyone knows that Grandpa shouldn't be watching the baby, it's her.
I know. I agree. Okay, so yeah. So that's the first thing Isaac tells these PIs. He's like, yeah, Bob was asleep. Bob wasn't there. Bob wasn't like sitting down. And then Isaac also mentions a cooler, like a chest cooler that was brought with them to the campground. But when they left the campground, the cooler was nowhere to be found.
No.
Yeah. And remember,
Yeah, the rectangle
with
of
the
gravel?
dog, yeah.
There's no way they wouldn't have found that. They didn't dig it.
They did dig it. It was a disturbed rectangle on the ground. Because this was after, like a couple months after, they brought out this dog. This
So they could have moved it.
They could have moved. I think they flew. Her name was Tracy, and the dog's name was Chase, or Chance. They flew him in from like Alabama because this is like a.
When would they have been able to move it?
I mean, like
Where-
they weren't being surveilled right after. They did the initial
But they
group
had
search.
all of those searches.
I know. I'm just saying, like,
Jesus.
yeah.
Sorry, he said that there was a cooler and then there wasn't one on the way back.
This is exactly what he said to these PIs, his undercover PIs.
He had to be like, that was a red flag all along. Like, he knew that. Like, why would you know that? Why would you remember that? It
Yeah.
must have been just a discussion. Like,
Isaac's a weird one.
Okay.
I should put a couple interviews of him in here. He's just a little slow.
okay.
And maybe he just didn't think about it until later. And then maybe he's just like talking with his new buddies at the bar. And he's like, now that I think about it, they had a cooler when we got there. And then when we left, the cooler was gone. Like maybe he's like realizing that in that conversation and being like, oh shit, maybe that's what happened. But then like he never went to the police, which is weird. There was a docuseries from East Idaho News. It's called Little Man Gone that I watched.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And the reporter, not my favorite, she did this thing where she would ask Isaac, she's like, do you think Jessica did something to DeOrr? And he would be like, I'm not really going to comment on that. It's like, nah, I don't really want to add fuel to this fire. I'm not going to say ill of anybody.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, like, what about Vernal? And then she's like, what about Bob? He keeps saying, no, I'm not going to talk to you about that. I don't know. And I'm not going to.
Yeah, I know these people.
I'm not going to make weird fucking theories because like you're asking me to. I'm not
Yeah.
doing that, which is kind of like no one else does that in the story. Isaac's like, hey, like that's a theory. I'm just saying what I know. What I know is like I went to this fishing hole for an hour, hanging out by myself, and DeOrr left in some shape or form. That's all he knows.
Interesting.
And he's the only one that really does that. So in March of 2016, Philip Klein was fired after making some of his findings about this case public. And Philip Klein says he does this because of the GoFundMe. He's like, Jessica and Vernal didn't hire me. The public did. It's a public GoFundMe that paid for our expenses. I feel like I have to tell the public, I have a right to inform the public of what I found because they're the ones that hired me.
Okay, that's all right. Sure.
Yeah. So after that, a libel lawsuit is filed against Klein
Okay.
because Philip had been talking publicly about how suspicious he was of Jessica and Vernal. And he also brings up the failed polygraph tests and the other stuff, the stuff we just talked about. He's like, hey, I'm sus of these people. I don't think this is on
What
the
we
up and
think
up.
it is, yeah.
And he also brings up the $9,000 that went missing from the GoFundMe. So in regard to the libel case, the case gets dismissed because he was able to prove every claim that he made against Vernal and Jessica.
Okay.
And also Vernal and Dennis's dad tried to sue Klein for the $20,000. But the judge was like, hey, the $20,000 wasn't your money. It was a GoFundMe. So why does Klein or NKIC owe you $20,000 of money that you did not give them?
Got it. Okay.
They lose both of those cases. What?
Like, what? Why didn't their lawyer tell them this is useless?
It should have been dropped before it got
Yeah,
there,
like,
but
someone should have been like, you're not going to win this.
sorry. Like, the money isn't yours in the first place.
Yeah. Who took this case?
So Philip Klein believes that after 8 a.m. on July 10th, Every claim that Jessica and Vernal made that day up until 2:26 p.m. when Jessica called 911 cannot be verified. They're like, everything.
Whatever they said happened may not happen.
Yeah. And he thinks that they're lying or hiding something about what happened that day. He's like, these people are not to be trusted. There's something going on here, is what basically he says.
But there were 2 other people there that.
But if Bob was asleep in the camper and Isaac's off fucking fishing.
Okay. Yeah. I mean.
Look at the theories.
Yeah. Okay.
I have a theory, I guess, for lack of a, Yeah. All right. So 6 months after DeOrr's disappearance, Jessica and Vernal break off their engagement. And Jessica gets remarried within the year of DeOrr going missing.
Huh?
She's like, I wasn't expecting it. I just met someone. We fell in love. It just happened. She's like, I can't really plan for that. I was like, okay. Like, within a year of your kid going missing and breaking up your engagement with his father? I don't know.
Yeah, but if you're not the type that can support yourself, you need someone to do it.
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah. And so Vernal also starts a new relationship with someone else, and he moves out of state. He moves to, I think, Nevada.
Okay.
And so the apartment Jessica and Vernal had been living in together before the breakup had basically been abandoned because they were evicted. And remember how you said, like, that $9,000, I'm like, they're probably paying for their rent and stuff. Mm-hmm. They weren't. They were using that to pay their rent. This $9,000 just disappeared.
Okay.
Because they got evicted. And Jessica and Vernal left a lot of shit behind in this abandoned apartment.
Okay.
And the landlord contacts them and they're like, are you going to come get your stuff? If you don't get your stuff by this date, I'm going to throw it away. Mm-hmm. And they just don't respond to this landlord. And then the landlord, he calls KIC.
Oh, yeah. He's like, I know who you are.
Yeah.
I heard about this tyou.
And he basically comes and was like, hey, he's like, you want to come look at this stuff? He's like, I'm about to throw it away if you want to come look at it.
Wow.
I know. And so KSE brings in a cadaver dog and inspects the apartment, but does not indicate for anything. However, while going through the items left behind, some interesting things are found, including some Hot Wheels cars that DeOrr was said to have been playing with on the trip. And I think initially they said that those were missing, but now they're at the apartment.
Okay.
And there's also a very well-loved and used baby blanket. And I think if you watch the interview, she talks about this as his blanket.
That he takes everywhere?
Yeah. It was left at the apartment.
Oh, interesting.
Or at least it's a baby blanket left at the apartment.
Or it could have been that they took it home to the apartment after the camp trip. And now it's in the apartment. And maybe...
But I'm saying... So what I'm saying is, why would you leave that if you abandoned this apartment?
If it was...
Your missing child's baby blanket that he loved and adored and probably smells like him? That's fucking weird.
Yeah. Unless you're, like, so traumatized by the whole thing. Yeah, it is interesting. The
So
behavior
Vernal...
is interesting.
Yeah, Vernal has the monkey...
It's like the husband whose wife goes missing and he gets rid of all her clothes, kind of a situation.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
similar in that way.
It's very similar. And I think it's very odd. No matter how traumatizing it is, like, I would not get rid of it.
Unless you were flat broke and you're like, I can't face this man. I can't go get my stuff. I can't do anything about it.
But if you're leaving, wouldn't that be the first thing you took?
I would think so.
Also, a camo jacket of DeOrr's is found. If you remember, when he went missing, he was wearing a camo jacket. So we don't have any photos of DeOrr at the Timber Creek campsite, which in itself is a little odd because Jessica was a person who posted a lot of DeOrr. Like, she posted multiple photos of him every day. She did not post a single photo of him on the camping trip before he went missing. Like, not on the road trip down. Like, not at the fire before. Because remember, they went to town, they got service. She could have posted something then. And when people ask her about this, she's like, oh, I was just trying to, like, enjoy the trip, enjoy camping. But she, like, was a notorious multiple post a day person.
Okay.
I'm just saying. So there's no photos of DeOrr at the Timber Creek campsite in the outfit he was missing in. So there isn't a confirmation that it's the same jacket that was said he went missing and that they found in the apartment. But Jessica and Vernal had released a photo of DeOrr from a previous date in the jacket he had gone missing in, and it appears to be the same jacket that was found in the garbage from the abandoned apartment.
So Oh, it was in the garbage because the landlord had already thrown it into the garbage and
Yeah.
they like go through it. Okay.
Yeah.
But like the cops wouldn't have gone through their if they were like, I guess people of interest doesn't mean suspect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or charged.
They would need a warrant or whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, so the camo jacket is weird. Like, I guess he could have had more than one.
It seems reasonable that he could have had more than one.
But the fact that they posted a picture of DeOrr in this camo jacket from a previous date, they're like, hey, this is the jacket he went missing in. And then they find the same jacket in the apartment is odd.
Yes.
Which is like, also, if you're,
I don't know.
Trying
why
to
that
cover up a
couldn't be
case
evidence,
if-
or maybe they don't have a body, so they don't have a case.
yeah, maybe. So, almost 2 years after DeOrr went missing, Jessica, Vernal, Bob's interviews that were done previously with KIC are released to a local news outlet, and they're in the docuseries called The Man Lost. That's what I talked about. And Bob's interviews are weird, for lack of a better word. So when he is asked about what happened that day, he says, quote, we all probably have different stories. Which, I mean, I guess that's because he knows that everyone's story is different at this point, but it's a weird thing to say. He's like, I don't know. The response is, I don't know.
He could mean like we were all doing something different at the time.
Yeah, he could have been
happened,
that too.
you know?
Yeah, yeah. And when asked if he remembers being asked to watch DeOrr that day by Jessica, he replies with, well, that's what they say.
Oh, he feels they put that on him.
Like,
blamed him.
It almost was like gaslighting. They like gaslit this man to be like, yeah, we told you to watch him. You didn't watch him.
Yeah, it's your fault.
It's your fault, right?
Although no one's blaming him directly.
Yeah, but there's...
They have no way to blame him because he shouldn't be watching the kid.
I agree.
He's got a caretaker. You're his
You're the
guardian.
babysitter, bitch.
Yes. God, that's
Yeah.
awful.
So he says he doesn't remember and he doesn't know what happened to DeOrr. He's like, well, they told me that's what they said, but I don't know what happened. I don't remember. I could have like fallen asleep. I don't know. And so towards the end of the interview, Bob also is stated to have said, quote, what's done is done. They can always have another child.
Oh my God.
Which is a fucked up thing to say.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. And in the later interview, Philip Klein's like, I threw my laptop across the room after watching that. I was furious. What do you mean? It's just, I don't know. It's this type of fucking person.
Weird.
Yeah. So in the later interview with Bob by KIC, Bob does also say that he was asleep in the camper when DeOrr went missing. So he changes his story. He's like, oh yeah, I was asleep in the camper. And they're like, but you said this before. And he's like, well, no, I was asleep. So he changes his story again. And that kind of adds up to what Isaac was saying.
Yeah.
Where he's like, Bob was asleep in the camper.
Wow.
Yeah. So in the Little Man Lost docuseries, Jessica and Vernal also start pushing some of the blame of the disappearance of DeOrr on Bob as well. They're basically saying Bob shouldn't have been watching him. And Jessica's like, if my grandpa's guilty, then he's guilty. I don't know what happened. I just want my kid back. If it's Bob that did it, then it's Bob.
That did what?
If it's his fault, I guess.
No, it's your fault. It's your fucking kid. You walked away from him.
I know. And they also do the same thing to Isaac. So Isaac is, I keep like trying to defend him, but I will also say that Isaac has some charges against him. So there was like a rumor going around that he was a sex offender. He was on the sex registry. He's not. He does, however, have, I think, marital rape charge on his record.
Damn.
So it's not fucking good. So I'm not saying Isaac's an angel, but he's also not a sex offender. Just
Sorry. Marital rape doesn't equal sex offender registry? Jesus.
no, because it's not with a child.
No, you can be on the sex offender registry for rape.
Maybe it wasn't marital battery. It was a
Okay.
lesser charge. It might have not been marital rape. It was. I meant to look it up. I forgot.
Okay.
But
So
Isaac,
some DV charge.
yeah, some sort of
A
DV
sex
charge.
crime or a DV charge?
A DV charge. A DV
Okay.
charge against his former wife.
Okay.
But like people were saying that he was a sex offender,
Okay.
but he's not.
Not because he's not in the registry anymore.
Yeah,
Okay.
he was never on the registry.
It doesn't mean he's not a sex offender.
He sounds like in the legal term. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'm not trying to defend him. I'm just saying, trying to keep things straight.
Yeah.
I'm saying that
valid.
he's not necessarly a good guy. I'm just saying he's not like the baddest guy.
He's not a known pedo.
He's not the president.
Oh my.
Sorry. Okay. So Vernal claims that he confronted Isaac after DeOrr went missing. And in the interview, Vernal's like, yeah, I walked up to him. Do you know where my son is? And he was like, I don't know. Well, you better fucking know where he is. He got like weirdly aggressive towards Isaac. And Isaac was like nervous and kind of like, I don't know what you want me to say. And Vernal's trying to like do this like tough guy act. So Vernal also says that Isaac didn't help look for DeOrr and he was just sitting in his tent during the search, which is later confirmed to be untrue by people in the search effort.
Oh, okay.
And Isaac's like, no, I was looking. I went up and around the hills. I went up and around the reservoir.
Okay.
I was looking for him too. And like
Did they mean like before 911 was called?
But before 911 was called, he was at the fishing hole.
The whole time?
Yeah. He was like at the fishing hole for an hour. He had no idea what was going on until he walked.
Okay.
He said that he walked up and Bob was pacing. And he asked Bob, he's like, hey, what's going on? And Bob's like, well, like DeOrr's missing. The baby's missing. And he said that's when he started looking for him.
Okay.
And like later, Vernal says that like he said like he confronted him, being like, "What did you do to my kid?"
Okay.
And then I'm not saying like it's wrong.
Yes, I'm just saying that seems like a natural
because like
reaction to a strange dude.
Right. It's either your family or this guy.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so Jessica says that Isaac seemed uninterested in being around her, Vernal, and DeOrr. Like, he's a fucking middle-aged, like a 30-year-old man. Like, I would hope you would be uninterested hanging around
and
me.
like, because you guys are all going camping together, doesn't mean he needs to hang out with you.
No.
24/7.
Yeah. And like, Isaac's a little weird.
Sure.
Right? And
Out here in nature doing my own thing.
right, yeah. He's like, I want to go fishing. I'm like, whatever, you know. And like, Jessica's like, he asked me, why would you bring a baby on a camping trip?
Oh. Well.
Which, I'm not gonna say I disagree. Not in this camping trip.
Well, you know what? It seemed, well, if he hadn't gone missing, I would say it's their business, whatever.
No, it is their business, but I wouldn't do it.
Listen, it doesn't seem like
it's the lack of a bathroom facilities thing.
But if he's in diapers, then he's just pooping in the diaper anyway.
But you also like,
they're creating trash.
I know, but it just feels like I would want water to wash my hands after changing him. Like maybe it's like a really gross diaper to be able to clean him. You know, there's just
Maybe.
I feel like running water is essential for having having small children.
Okay. Yeah,
personally,
I guess they could argue that they might like rinse in the creek, but
that's gross.
Well, I'm not saying I'm bathing.
Well, I would say as someone who frequents the backcountry, you don't do any bathroom stuff near water.
I'm not saying you poop in it. I'm saying maybe you.
No. You know any rinsing.
Your hands?
No, 200 feet away from any sort of stream or lake or any.
Sorry, you wash your hands after you change the baby's diaper.
But you usually have water and soap. And you just wash your hands away from the stream. You don't do anything near running water, backcountry wise, when it comes to bathroom stuff. You don't wash your hands. You don't.
You think these fucking people give a shit about that?
They probably don't. I'm just saying you shouldn't do that. That's my PSA. Okay, that's my podcast PSA. Yeah, you're gonna fuck up like ecosystems doing that. So just don't do that,
ma'am. It's not just your backcountry PSA. You also have some kind of ecology degree or something.
I do. That's true.
So it's like,
leave it alone. Just like
I don't think they were on the same level.
Don't put your poopy butt in the water.
They could have washed their hands in the creek. Is all I'm saying. There was technically running water nearby.
I'm just saying it's not ideal for a child, a small child.
And I'm saying they seem like the type that would not mind it.
All right. I'm not saying I disagree.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it's gross. Okay. How about that?
We agree.
I'm just saying it's gross. Don't do that.
Copy.
And it sounds like Isaac was like, why would you bring a kid out here? And Jessica's like...
He agrees with you too.
Yeah. And Jessica was like, why are you judging me?
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So during one of the other interviews, Jessica tells another story about how there was a shovel. This is weird. So there was a shovel owned by Bob at the campsite. And while searching for DeOrr, police came and asked Isaac about the shovel. So she also claims that there was a blonde hair on the shovel.
Oh.
But as she like went to go grab it, it blew away in the wind. And after being questioned about the shovel, Isaac went over and started like rubbing his hands all over the shovel. As I don't know. It's this weird story she brings up.
Okay.
She's like, I saw this blonde hair. I went to go grab it. It blew in the wind. And then after Isaac was questioned about this shovel, he like put his hands all over it.
Okay.
And police did confirm that there was a shovel at the site. And Isaac also says that Bob had a shovel there.
It could be to like bury your fire.
Yeah, there's so many. Yeah,
Yes.
there's so many reasons. But no one has ever said anything else about this shovel story that Jessica brings up or the hair.
Okay.
It's just like a story that Jessica adds to this very convoluted timeline already. So for what's worth, it comes Isaac. He has never changed his story at any time. And people try to get him to talk negatively about Jessica, Vernal, or Bob. And he just responds that he doesn't want to add fuel to the fire. He's like, I'm not going to comment on that. Because there's a point where he's interviewed. He's like, yeah, I kind of see why they made me the scapegoat.
Yeah.
But he's like, I don't really know what happened. He's like, I understand though, like why I'm the person.
Yeah.
He's like, it's not me. So
Interesting.
yeah. But yeah, Vernal and Jessica, they really there's a point where they kind of double down on him. And he's like, I have nothing for you guys. So another interesting point about Isaac is that from the time he left Jessica and Vernal at the one fishing spot that he said that he showed Jessica and Vernal and DeOrr were supposed to be behind, who he thought DeOrr was behind them, he goes further down the creek to fish by himself, like I've said, for a significant amount of time, like at least an hour. So my thought is that if Bob is asleep in the camper, like at times in the story, it seems like he might be, and Isaac is out fishing, this leaves a chunk of time where Vernal and Jessica are alone with DeOrr. And I think that's significant. Just being out there. So KIC still creates a report and statement about the disappearance of DeOrr Kunz after going through all the evidence and being fired. They're like, this is for the public. This isn't for Vernal or Jessica. The public hired us. We're going to release this statement or this evidence. And they state, quote, we believe that the parents, Vernal Kunz and Jessica Anderson, because she'd been remarried at this point, are deceptive with the intent to cover up a crime. We now have no evidence other than the testimony of the 4 persons on the site to indicate that DeOrr Jr. was on the mountain at all.
Yeah.
So you don't think he was there at all?
Yeah, I've heard that there are some theories that he wasn't on this camp trip at all.
Yeah. So Philip Klein also writes a public statement to Jessica and Vernal stating, quote, enough of lying, enough of trying to mislead the investigators, not on our side, but the FBI, who you don't mess with. You have to be honest with them. Enough of going on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter and all these things trying to mislead the public, unquote. He's basically saying, stop fucking lying. Just tell the truth. Which will lead me to theories.
Okay, but Isaac said that he saw him on the
Isaac
trip?
does say that he saw DeOrr the morning he went missing at 8 a.m. So I don't know if the theory that he just wasn't there at all is factual.
Yeah, okay.
Because I think that so yeah, we're just getting a theory. So I think that theory of DeOrr was never at the campground stems specifically from the fact that there are so many people that Jessica and Vernal said that they interacted with DeOrr, and everyone's like, no. That there's a theory now that DeOrr was never at the campground.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I do kind of see.
Yeah, I've heard this.
But Isaac and Bob have both said that DeOrr was there
Yeah.
in different interviews. Specifically Isaac. He's like, yeah, he's like, in the morning we had breakfast and he was there.
Yeah.
In his little cowboy boots, like walking around, like,
Yeah.
playing with a fire or whatever. So
I think it would be pretty easy to, I don't know, I guess if it was grass, then you wouldn't be able to tell, but I bet it was a dirt campsite at some point. So wouldn't they be able to see like the scuffs of his little boots shuffling around? Like it seems like it would be there would be evidence that he would have been there.
But did
guess-
anyone think about that?
They
when
weren't investigating
Yeah.
the campsite. It was like we're looking everywhere
We're
else.
searching. Yeah.
Fuck, maybe not.
Yeah, that's what my first thought was too.
Okay.
I mean, it's
Diapers or change of clothes or
Yeah.
food for a child.
Yeah. Evidently there was a diaper found near a tree,
Okay.
which is kind of like, or there's something about a diaper in a tree. I don't know if the diaper was there or that's like where Jessica was like changing him when he was there.
Okay.
Like a dog indicated like there was some like sort of like human activity there.
Sure.
But I don't think there was like specifically a diaper. I think they called it like the diaper tree.
Okay.
But I don't think there was like dirty. I hope there wasn't dirty diapers there. That's fucking nasty.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, I'll get off that. Okay. So yeah, there is one theory that this is like an elaborate way of covering up DeOrr's disappearance because he went missing before this camping trip, and the fact that Isaac was there was like an anomaly. And Vernal and Jessica just kind of were pretending he was there and trying to like. There's specifically when they were like walking to the fishing hole, and Vernal was like supposed to be talking to DeOrr. There's people that said like,
did
he was talking to nobody. He was like pretending to talk to DeOrr.
That's crazy.
That is crazy.
Okay.
We've heard crazier shit, but
Crazy.
that's real crazy. So the first theory that most people kind of like assume is that there was maybe an animal attack of some sort because this area does have a lot of wolves and bears.
Yeah.
So there is a extensive search done of this area, including like looking at old like animal dens, and there's just like no sign of DeOrr.
Yeah.
I think specifically the boots. If he's getting snatched up by an animal, is wearing boots that are 2 sizes too big,
Yeah.
the boots are being left behind.
Probably.
Yeah. And I
Blood.
mean, blood.
A drop here or there.
Right. Clothing probably at some point would be found.
Fab tears.
Yeah.
On bushes or.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
Yeah, something. And like bears specifically, they don't really eat large like game like that. They're kind of more like herbivores or like pescatarian. Like they eat a lot of fish. Like black bears specifically. I don't think it was grizzly bears
Okay.
in this area. They're not really aggressive in attacking people in that sense. And wolves, I think, are a little different, but I don't think
What about mountain? Like cats, big cats.
big cats. It didn't really sound like there was big cats in this area. People were talking specifically about wolves and bears.
Interesting.
Wolves, like they hunt at night or like early morning or like dusk.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. I was like,
Yeah.
wolves, it seems like a stretch. But cats will get you.
A big cat also does hunt and dawn at dusk too.
Sure,
They don't
that's
really
true.
hunt during the middle. They're more nocturnal in that sense.
Good point. They'll sneak up on you.
Right. But if a big game animal like that, a big predator, had snatched DeOrr, he probably would have screamed, right? It's not like a cat's taking them and covering his mouth and like running away with him.
Very true.
And the boots is also a really big, part of this. It's just there's the fact that there's no evidence, I think, equals that there is evidence there isn't an animal attack, if that makes sense. So the next theory is that DeOrr was taken by someone else. And so this also doesn't really add up, I will say. This means that someone would have driven down that long and bumpy forest road that was unpaved. It's one way in, one way out, right? And they would have gone unnoticed at the same time. DeOrr was seemingly alone in this like very small window that seems like kind of random.
Right.
It wasn't like, oh, Grandpa's watching him.
It wouldn't have been a predictable window for him to be alone.
No. Yeah,
someone to
yeah. And someone was able to snatch him and get away.
It's also so remote.
So remote, so random. Did they see a DeOrr?
It's not. What are the chances that I know we had talked about the woman that said she saw someone like hiking that was stressing her out about her kids, but what are the chances that this is an opportunistic type?
Yeah, absolutely.
Child kidnapper.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
It just seems like there are other easier places to take children.
Yeah.
You know, than a camp trip with this family in the middle of the woods.
I agree.
You wouldn't expect it to be there.
Yeah. It's weird.
Yeah.
I feel like there's stronger evidence for Bigfoot taking this kid.
Yeah. Might as well be.
Not to like.
That's why I
yeah.
was like, where's missing 911?
Oh, where's David Pilatus?
Yeah, I was saying 411.
I he probably has been part of this case. I did not
See it.
I did not look in that avenue. I
Well,
guess.
if it had been there, you would have probably seen it.
Yeah. I've definitely looked a lot for this one. And the last theory is that something happened to DeOrr and it's Jessica and Vernal's fault. Either accidentally or intentionally. So personally, I don't think it was probably intentional. But I do think something happened that was negligent. And we haven't really talked about this, but there was drinking happening at the campground.
Sure.
Isaac was drinking. Vernal was drinking. Bob doesn't drink, but he brings alcohol for people.
Sure.
you know? I don't know if Jessica was drinking specifically, but Vernal and Isaac definitely were drinking. And I think the fact that there's also some blood evidence found in the back of Vernal's truck, and like maybe he had drinks a bunch of beers and like then was like, oh, I need to go get more beer while Grandpa Bob was sleeping. Isaac was fishing and he maybe accidentally ran over DeOrr, and he's a truck driver who has a CDL.
Fuck.
And if he loses his CDL, he loses his livelihood. And Jessica's probably also thinking the same thing. And so they decide to hide DeOrr's body, who's probably obviously dead, in the cooler.
Oh my God.
This is a very dark way of thinking about this, but they're like, we're going to hide it for now. They find that weird patch of like soil with the gravel and they bury it for a little bit and then they move it somewhere, which is a stretch in a lot of ways because they immediately almost call 911.
It's true.
You know, I mean,
Yeah.
they did have like scent tracking dogs.
Yeah.
Like right away, so it feels like they probably would have found that cooler if they hid the cooler. But it's like the only thing that kind of makes sense because nothing really truly makes sense for this case. You know, it's like nothing adds up. The timeline doesn't add up. Jessica and Vernal's. I mean, Isaac's the only one that has a consistent timeline. Grandpa Bob's like, I don't fucking know. You know, they can have more kids. Who cares? Essentially, which is fucked up. It's just, it's weird. It's very weird. It seems like the closest we're gonna get to the truth. And there has been like interviews recently with Vernal. He's like, the truth will come out. Like he says to a reporter, and they're like, what do you mean? If the truth will come out, then just fucking tell us the truth.
Yeah.
And there's also another point where Jessica, she says that she was given immunity to confess, and she's like, I have nothing to confess. And
Okay, so they were like, we don't think if you turn on him, then you won't
right,
be
but so
prosecuted.
like now Jessica and Vernal are broken up. Obviously, they've gotten like Jessica got remarried like really quickly. Vernal's lives in a different state. So if they were like kind of a united couple,
There's no reason to.
there's a reason to like now maybe,
Yeah.
you know, but maybe they're just like doubled down in that lie and like they just feel like they can't admit because
Their whole lives are shaped around it. Their family, her new spouse, like their new relationships. They're like, yeah.
there's a lot to lose if they finally tell the truth, even though they're not together anymore.
Yeah.
So it just,
Yeah. It's possible.
it feels like the most plausible explanation. And I feel like the fact that the Lynn Bowerman, the first sheriff, he retired and there's a new sheriff and he doesn't think they're people of interest, weirdly. He says that like they can't clear them as suspects.
Okay.
That's what he says.
Sure.
He says they're not people of interest, but we're not going to clear them.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
it feels like there's something else going on behind the scenes of this case that maybe they're hoping to find DeOrr's body or they're waiting for something else. Like they're waiting for the smoking gun
Yeah.
to like really actually prosecute Jessica and Vernal. But for now, it's just kind of up in the air.
Sure. Damn. So sad.
Yeah. So a decade after DeOrr Kunz Jr. vanished from a remote Idaho campsite, the case remains unsolved. Despite extensive searches, multiple investigations of years of public attention, no definitive answers have emerged about what happened in those final moments. With no arrests, no confirmed evidence, and no clear explanation, DeOrr's disappearance continues to stand as one of the most troubling unsolved cases in recent memory, and a reminder of how quickly a child can vanish and how long a question can linger when the truth continues to remain out of reach. And that's The Disappearance of DeOrr Kunz, Part 2.
Thick. It is thick.
It's a thick encyclopedia of shit.
Damn. You did it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That was a wild, like I
mystery.
said, like I did not know
Yeah.
how fucking
Me neither. How
deep
current.
this rabbit hole went. And I feel like I could have gone deeper. I'm not going to lie. And I had to stop myself.
Oh my gosh. It is a mystery.
It's weird. It's so
Yeah,
weird.
it's
And
so
like, I
weird.
really do hope that something gets figured out because the poor baby,
Yeah.
like this like little 2-year-old boy, he would have been 13 today.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's my nephew's age. Like a full-on, like, almost adult. Like a little kid, but, like, in middle school with friends and, like, hobbies and, like, just, you know, doing his own thing. And we just don't know where he is. And maybe there's, like, a weird, like, someone kidnapped him and he's, like, being raised by someone else's family, you know? I don't fucking know.
Sure.
Stranger things have happened.
Sure.
But yeah, that's what we got for you this week.
Thank you.
We're wrapping that shit up.
Let's do it.
Thank you for listening. We appreciate you.
Me too.
We will talk to you guys next week. You'll see you later. And until next time,
Stay grimly curious.
man.
My goodness. Thank you so much for listening. Music by Alex Kingston and Adam McKinnon.
For podcast photos and updates, follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Grimly Podcast.
Be sure to rate and review, and we will see you next week for another episode. Bye, bitch.